Fine.
Welcome to another episode of the Fanzone podcast, your home for all things Bolton Wanderers, up the Trotters, the Northwest's #1 podcast.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Fanzone podcast. Tonight, of course, is episode 161, following Wanderers' 2-1 victory at home versus Exeter City. Do apologise about the slight technical glitch on going live this evening. Of course, you'll notice we are late. I'm going to hand it over to Ben McQuaid for an explanation. Ben?
He's
on mute as well, or he's got Wi-Fi issues. So he's a sterling job so far this evening, hasn't he? Just that again, Ben?
Yeah, can you hear me now, I'm assuming? Who knows? Yeah, surprise, surprise. My Wi-Fi just had a minute, but I think I'm here. I've seen.
But have you got a mustache?
I have. Yeah, thanks for noticing. Yeah, it's November, wasn't it? I mean, now it's the 14th of December, so I don't really have an excuse. I've just kind of carried it on.
You like it? You keeping it?
I don't know. I've got a bit of
an
attachment. Bit of an attachment, if you like.
Oh wow.
Benny's near the levels of the other two male presenters, facially hair-wise, but I mean, I'm probably not far behind you, Ben.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Oh yeah.
I must admit, he's looking rather German in my eyes.
He does look a bit German. He does.
Yeah. I've had Australian a couple of times, not German though. That's the first German I've had. So
do your ancestry research and see whether or not you're actually partly German.
Swiss or something, Swedish or something.
As you can see as well, we're also joined by Ange and Dan. Ange, how are you this evening?
I'm so thankful to be over that absolutely awful lurgy that I had last week. Ben and I were both ill, weren't we, last week?
Yeah, both got it with it at the same time, didn't we?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still a little bit. I will mute if I need to cough. But yes,
you're learning, Ange. Took a few years, but you're getting there. Dan, how are you this evening? You well?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm on day 2 of my hangover, and I'm hoping it's the last day. We went out on Friday for like parents do from kids' parents from school, and someone got the tequila out, and it obviously all went downhill from there, didn't it? So yesterday we were right off. I'm still a bit ropey today, but looking very much forward to having a bit of a catch up over the game.
Absolutely. And that's a little reminder to the younger viewers watching tonight. Enjoy them evenings and nights out whilst you can.
Yes.
And make sure you don't grow up before you're whilst you're still young. Enjoy the hangovers or lack of hangovers whilst you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they come to us all. Good evening, everybody in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good evening, everybody in the chat. Lovely to have you all with us this evening. Usual channel members and usual guests in the chat. Please continue to get your comments in, and we'll make sure we bring them to view and have a good chat about them as well. Ben McQuaid tonight is in charge of Fan Focus, so do get your comments in for that, and we'll be sure to dissect them towards the latter end of tonight's episode. But without further ado, I reckon post-match reactions time, 3-point pod. What are we saying?
Crack on.
Let's do it.
Let's have it.
It begs the question, following yesterday's win against Exeter, was it ever in any doubt? obviously boos rang round the Tough Sheet Community Stadium yesterday at 3:45. Unbelievably, or believably, depending on your thought process towards some Bolton fans, or was it the referee's lack of added on time? Who knows? When I mentioned the fact that it was in doubt or not, I noticed on the panel, Dan was the first to react. So we'll go to Dan. Presumably, Dan, you was in some kind of doubt yesterday, was you? Do you want to go with your reactions straight up from the top?
Yeah. I did feel like, and I said in our group chat that I felt like it might be the game that we lose this season, just because I didn't think we were playing badly. It's just before they scored, they were just happily sat in anyway, weren't they? Even though we were like controlling the game, and obviously they got gifted that goal, which made them kind of sit even deeper. And I just thought, do you know the Rotherham game last season where we just absolutely peppered them, and it weren't even to that level of like shots, and we got nothing. I just thought maybe it'll be a repeat of that in terms of the result, but fair play to Shuey. Them substitutes were absolutely brilliant, and you can criticise managers sometimes when they make subs, like if you concede or anything like that, but you got to give full props to him, because I thought all of them who came on were absolutely brilliant and completely changed the game for us. So yeah, very happy with the win, and we just keep the run going, don't we? It's just all about winning, and that's what we're doing. So yeah, hopefully it continues.
Win at all costs. Interested in how we perceive football, because when I was watching that game yesterday, I wasn't really in much doubt that we were going to win the game. I was pretty comfortable with it all, even at 1-0. And the reason for that is after they scored, we didn't kind of shy away. You could see the lads didn't really react negatively to the fact that we went 1-0 down. There was the usual kind of high intensity probing with, I must admit, little kind of final cutting edge, shall we say, certainly in that first half. But when you strip it all back, and I'm getting more and more on the stats train with Ben, and I'm finding myself spending quite a bit of time on FOTMob. Just to add again, it's not the
not
XG.
Yeah, it's not the purest of,
It will be soon. It will be soon.
But it's good to note kind of the momentum charts, which are quite interesting when you're watching or listening to a game back from one you've just watched, and the sheer volume of attacking prowess during the course of the game is kind of backing up what my eyes saw in the way in which we reacted. So I was never really in too much doubt personally, but I do understand why you might have thought along them lines. I just think we're a slightly different team to the team we were last season, Dan, in my eyes.
Well, we are, mate.
And I think we're proving that we're learning to win in a number of different ways, aren't we? And grind out results, which is something that we've not necessarily done in recent years. Ben, what about you? What are your kind of instant reactions following yesterday's 2-1 win?
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere in the middle of Colin and Dan's kind of confidence at half time, because I think coupled on the back of the Mansfield away game, where it felt a bit kind of we won without barely conceding a chance against Mansfield, but it kind of seemed like we had 4 more games we could have kicked into, and we just kind of didn't. But whatever, 3 points and we won, but barely conceding a chance. Happy days. And I think off the back of that, having that first half where, the goal was just kind of ridiculous, wasn't it? And that's their only shot they had all half. In fact, it was one of 3 shots they had all game, with the other one being in the 95th minute, and one of the others was like a blocked shot from 20 yards out. So they genuinely didn't have another chance. But yeah, I just think we looked a bit. Before the goal, I thought we looked pretty decent without creating any massive chances, and then afterwards, I feel like we didn't really. The only chance I can properly remember the first half was all the ball and didn't really create too much. I don't know. I was a bit like hoping. I was looking at the bench thinking, look, we've got Gale, Dempsey, Dalby to bring off the bench to try and change the game. I didn't think all of them would come on and change the game as much as they all did. But yeah, I was still quietly confident that we'd get back into it, but not based on the performance, I would say, based on more than what I know we're capable as a squad. And just as a nod to the title, the super subs, it is important to say that, because I remember after the Luton game we kind of questioned his subs, saying he probably made him a bit late. After the Simons red card, he waited over, I think, 5 or 10 minutes before he made any subs, and even before the red card, it felt like we needed some subs, and he didn't make them. Whereas yesterday he was completely opposite. He was proactive. Obviously, brought Gale in at half time. I think most managers probably would have left it 10, 15 minutes into the second half to make that kind of sub. And then again, he brought Dempsey, Dolby, and Osei Tutu on pretty early as well, didn't he? Who all 4 of them had a hand in the 2 goals. So yeah, massive credit. And it is one of them. You look at the stats at the end of the game. We had 24 shots. They had 3, as I mentioned, barely even threatened us at all. And it's one of them. It's kind of only a matter of time until we got back into the game and won it. So yeah, another dominant home display in the end. Pretty happy.
Yeah. Question for you, Ange, then, before you give your kind of post-match reaction. Does this feel a little bit different in terms of the squad depth, in terms of the players that we've got to come on and change games when we need them to? And do you feel that could potentially get us over the line come May?
I think the amount of times this season, Carl, we've put in our chat when we lost that last season. Yeah. I think it just ices the cake of that squad, where you're looking at it and you're looking at that bench thinking, look what we've got sat there. Like, we know we've got game changers that are coming on. And a perfect example of brilliant tactical substitutions yesterday. He couldn't have got it any better, could he? It was the polar opposite, like Ben said, to the Luton game, where we made really clever subs early on, because I was definitely in Colin's camp, where I didn't think for a minute we were going to lose it. It just felt a bit stale. We just needed to change it. I knew he would, because he's one of the managers who does actually learn, I think, game on game. He takes those negatives and reruns them, and then how would he have done it differently? And I think that yesterday was an example of how he learns from match to match as a manager. What was your other question? I forgot. Sorry,
no, it's all good. Where you kind of summed up at the feeling, I guess, from a lot of fans' perspective, I think, at the moment, but it's more obviously getting your kind of reaction as well to the.
I'm not sure what the boom was about. You know what my blood is like? I'd gone to the toilet at about 40 minutes.
I think it was a mixture of booing at the ref and
I would like to think it was the lack of additional time added, because they were literally just the dark arts were
yeah.
for Exeter yesterday. They literally time wasted from 90 seconds.
It weren't a poor performance, were it? They weren't poor in that first half. We just conceded a really fortuitous goal from their point of view.
Yeah, and Teddy held his hands up, didn't he? I mean, he'll learn from that, and you've just got to. You can't get on his back too much. He knows he's dropped a bollock, but he lives and learns, and hopefully he'll right some wrongs there.
Yeah. Before we move on to man of the match, I just want to put it out there to the chat, as well as you guys on the panel tonight. But obviously, this is yet another game that Mason Burstow's failed to score, and yet another game that Mario Cozy-Dewberry hasn't quite looked what we've become accustomed to, usual self. Any concerns about that? Granted that Mario did look a little bit sharp in the second half, I must admit. And overall, Mason Burstow's game is pretty good in terms of obviously build-up play, link-up play, all that type of stuff. But kind of what they judged on, they're lacking a little bit at the moment, them too. Any concerns?
I would say, sorry, I don't need to jump in there if that was
no,
for
go
Ange.
for it. It's an open
we all wanted to go then.
I would say, obviously, a little bit of concern that they've not scored in. I think Burstow, is it 8 or 9 now? I can't remember. 8 maybe.
It's October time, innit? I think.
Yeah, Cozy-Dewberry's been 4 or 5 without a goal. But I mean, if they'd have carried on at the rate that they were going at, they would have been Premier League players this time next year. So I don't think anyone's really expecting that. So the positive for me is that they've stopped scoring. Other people have kind of took over the mantle. So if they'd have, my worry was when they were outright top goal scorers and barely anyone had chipped in, is that when they stopped, we'd look kind of toothless going forward. Whereas it's just kind of passed the mantle to Thierry Gale, Dempsey, and Sam Dolby, who've scored in recent weeks. So yeah, and I'll say Tutu as well, got on the score sheet on Tuesday, didn't he? So yeah, I don't know, and I think their overall game, that it's not like they're just poachers that who look good because of their goal numbers. Their overall game outside of it is still decent. And I know I brought up a couple of weeks ago after the Luton game whether it's time to see if Dolby would get a run out up front. And I think the overwhelming thought from us lot and in the chat was that no, Dolby's game is Burstow's game, even without goal scoring, is still good enough as an all-round number 9 to still make an impact on the game. And I still think he had a decent game yesterday. It was just he's not getting the chances in the 6-yard box that he was in the first sort of 10 11 games. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's Christmas time. We'll have a few games coming up. It's probably a time that I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see Dolby starting in the next couple of games and just kind of rotation really. And I think he's earned it, to be honest. He's looked lively most times when he's come on. Obviously yesterday got his goals. So yeah,
I think we'll that's kind of what I was going to lead with. That actually, it's quite typical in it where you're a striker like his strike partner Mason Burstow is kind of battling and doing everything else but score, and then literally within 10 minutes of him going off, Dalby scores. I think that's just the nature of being a centre forward, isn't it? Really. Obviously, we've touched upon Mason Burstow and Dalby. What about our mate ACD? What we're saying about him, Dan? Are you or Ange? Whoever wants to elaborate.
Colin.
What?
I was primed, and then you went Dan.
No, Ange or Dan. You can go for it.
Go on, Ange.
You go for it, Ange.
You know what? And I don't know. I've been dying to say this. I think I don't know why. I think it's because my brain's so foggy. When I have a thought, it's like I have to get it out.
Write it down. Come prepared. Get a pen and paper.
I never forgot what I was going to say. No, I'm joking. I think it will do our little Mario the power of good having Thierry Gale back because of how efficient he is on that other wing. They can't double up on them both, can they? So I think it's going to do Max Conway the world of good, and I think it's going to do Mario Cozy the world of good having Thierry Gale back because that lad is some player. Just his pace alone, it's frightening. And that 6-pack's pretty impressive, I must admit. So yeah, I can't remember what point I'm answering.
Just thinking about his 6-pack still, aren't you?
It was a shock, I would say.
I'm not so sure what you expect him to look like under that top as a professional footballer.
It's very defined 6-pack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got full view of that in the North Stand, to be honest with you. So yeah, I can.
Well, he has had quite a bit of time in the gym, hasn't he? So he's had some time to work on it while he's been recovering.
Let's move on to another 6-pack. What's your thoughts, Dan?
Yeah, 6-pack of beer maybe.
That's it.
Yeah. So Burstow, I said last week, his performance levels don't concern me at all. I think he's doing what he was doing prior in the season. He's just missing getting in the positions or getting the chances to actually get a shot away because can't remember him having too many really recent times. Mario, Dalby could come in and you could rotate him, but I think Burstow would still start, I think, for the time being, because I don't think, even though he's not necessarily getting the goals, he's such like an important way of how we play, like the pressure he puts on people and the runs he makes and things like that, opening up space for others as well. And obviously he came deep quite a lot of times yesterday as well, didn't he? Like running back to try and get on the ball. So, I mean, I like Dalby, so I've no issue, but I just can't see Burstow getting out of the team for any sort of length of time. With Cozy Dubre, I don't know. I think he's obviously going through a bit of a leaner spell, albeit only a few games, really. But he's a young lad, isn't he? And he's going to have these dips, as is Burstow. I think probably Cozy Dubry's performances have dipped farther than Burstow's. That's my opinion. But obviously he's got that bit of class in his locker. But I think potentially he might be the one who I would rest or rotate ahead of Burstow at the minute.
We've got a lot of games coming up. We have got so many games. We've got like 9.
Yeah, it's a mental period, isn't
it? We need all hands on deck. We're going to need every man and his dog to get him through. And we know what it's those League One heavy, small pitches that we end up. Somebody, bless them, was going to. Do you know what I mean? You know, was there, not was it? But we are going to need all hands on deck, and I think it probably will be quite a rotated. He already rotates, but I think it will be quite a heavily rotated between the cup. We've got a Virtue Cup match, I think, aren't we, as well in January, as well as the usuals.
So I mean, we've spoken about individual players, obviously being them two specifically, but I think there were a few shirts of man of the matches today, so let's have a little talk about that. As ever, we would like all of you to throw your man of the match into the chat, and we'll make sure that we bring them up on the screen. I'll start with Ben as he is nodding frantically. I think he's agreeing with what I'm saying about the comments in the chat, of course, but I'm sure he's got a good steer on his man of the match. So yeah, over to you, Ben.
Yeah, tricky one, I think. I mean, I think if we're picking a man of the match who played the full game, Josh Ian for me. Absolutely ran the show. I thought, again, we mentioned earlier on in the season, everyone was kind of convinced Simons and Arahan was the two, and he's worked his way back into the team. And then obviously got benched of the night against Mansfield and came on, and I thought it looked really good. And then started obviously yesterday, and yeah, just the metronome, isn't he, in midfield? He's always asking for the ball, especially that second half. The amount of times he got the ball and spun his man and, ping one out to the wing to, kind of set us off on an attack again. Yeah, he was class. But in terms of changing the game, it has to be Thierry Gale, I think. Andrew made a great point about having him on the left wing kind of gets the burden off just going down the right hand side every single time. I mean, Sissoko's done some good things. I still think he's got something in his locker. Osei Tutu as well has been dangerous in parts, but Gale was just a constant threat down the left-hand side the whole second half, pretty much. And yeah, I think it was one of the first times all season I've seen us concentrate our play down the left-hand side. He was. Yeah, he's great. Obviously, he got his goal. Fantastic ball from Dempsey over to him. A lovely little first touch, and then the finish looked like it wasn't going in the whole point until the last minute when it curves into the bottom corner. It was. Yeah, beautiful finish. One that he said he's been practicing, like his namesake Thierry Henry, wasn't it?
I think Sport said Henry-esque, didn't they, on their on their tweet?
Lovely. Yeah, it's lovely.
Let's not get carried away. Sorry.
Oh, hey, I'm just saying the finish was Henry-esque. Yeah. Yeah, he was class. And I also thought something that I don't think most people associate with him because you think he's a pacey winger to get behind and score some goals. He put in 5 or 6 really good crosses yesterday where he stands up his man and whips it to the back post, which I think, and I think Shuey said it in his post-match yesterday, he said when they did a crossing drill on Thursday and he was the best crosser in the squad, which I don't think many would have predicted kind of going into the season, maybe more of the technicians like Sheehan or Cozy Dubry or something like that. But yeah, he put in a few really good crosses to the back post, and I think that's going to be a bit of a weapon. Because I think if you look at him and the way he's damaged teams so far has been in behind threat, whereas ball to the feet, stand up your man and chip it to the back post is going to be, yeah, I think we'll see a few goals from that. Maybe that's where Sam Dolby comes into play. But yeah, in terms of yesterday, yeah, he was brilliant. Obviously, a nod to Dempsey as well. He brought that energy that we badly needed. I thought Osei Tutu was a fantastic sub because I don't think Chris had a bad game at all. And sometimes it's hard when you want to bring someone on for someone who is actually playing all right himself, but you just think we need someone else in that position. Osei Tutu brought a bit more energy and a bit more attacking thrust from right back and kind of created the first goal. But yeah, it's Gale. It's Gale for me, the man of half the match.
I'll throw my 2 penneth in. I'm going to agree with Josh _BWFC. Going with Max Conway. I thought he had.
I can't believe he didn't give a mention. My boy.
Well, I was waiting for it. But yeah, he didn't do. Offensively, defensively, winning duels, recoveries, probing passes into the final third, challenged a little bit as well in the second half, in part from a defensive perspective in which he shone. So yeah, I think he's becoming the first player on the team sheet for me, Max Conway. I think his performances are consistent. Yes, there's the odd little error, very rarely though, and I think we're not getting much better than him at this level. Sorry, as a left back, and I think he's proving it week in, week out. Obviously, Sheehan was great as well. Like Ben said, he ran the game. Usual is what I expected. Josh Sheehan, I think he's a wonderful midfielder for this level, far too good for this level, and I think the fact that he gets picked for his country, and I know it's only Wales, blah, 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 but he still gets picked in the squad. It's testament to him and his ability as well and what Craig Bellamy thinks of him. I think as long as he carries on playing for Wales as well, he'll carry on playing well for us. And I would be very, very, very surprised if the worst was to happen and we didn't go up, that somebody wouldn't get him off us next season, because he shouldn't be playing in League One at 30-year-old, in my opinion. But yeah, Conway, man of the match. Ange, what about you?
I'm just gonna go back to what you were just saying then about Max, because I know you said he very rarely puts a foot wrong, but I think he struggled a little bit without Gale in front of him. I think he will, with Gale in front of him, be that much better all-rounder. We know he's got a little bit of defensive work to do, but offensively he's brilliant going forward. And I'm really, really pleased for Max that Tier is back, because I think that partnership is lovely to watch. I thought he was great yesterday. I also thought Sheehan was great yesterday. Like Ben said, he dictated the play. He was brilliant in the middle of the park. But I am going to go because he was a match winner with a lovely little Gale. Thank you.
Fair dues. Dan, what about you, pal?
Yeah, just shout outs to Conway and Sheehan, like you both said. I don't think anyone had a bad game yesterday. He finished the match. The subs were great. I thought all of them were really good. But Thierry Gale, without him coming on the pitch, that left-hand side we just got no joy down it, I don't think. And he's just having a player who's running at full-backs. And like you say, Ben, those crosses he were whipping into the back post, if Dalby is going to get game time, that's got to be something in our kind of arsenal to use, because he put a couple of really teasing crosses into that back stick. And obviously he capped it off with a wonderful touch and finish into the far corner. So Thierry Gale, I thought he changed the game along with Dalby and Dempsey as well, and Osei Tutu. They were all brilliant when they came on. So fair play to them. They did the bit for the team, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, absolutely. So we happy to say that Thierry Gale was the man of the match from yesterday. All in agreement?
Yes.
Fair play to him. Not bad for a cameo, and long may them performances continue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great to have him back. Absolutely. Gaffer's Notebook. Let's see what. Only 4 minutes of the Gaffer's Notebook today, because he is a little bit hungover, but I'm sure he's done a sterling job of breaking down yesterday's 2-1 victory against Exeter.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Gaffer's Notebook, and today we're going to review the game against Exeter City. Now, again, this is a little bit of a makeshift setup once again, but the stat man is hanging out his... Yeah, I'm a little bit hungover, so let's get on with this, shall we? And because it's so dark, and I've left it so late, because I couldn't do it any earlier, because my head were banging, the light would have been awful if I left it in the normal way. So hopefully this is all right. And if it's not, well, then just, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's review game, shall we? Now, of course, their goal was just pure stupidity from your part. I have no idea what Sharman Lowe is doing. But, to be fair, it sort of comes from what we were saying in the preview. They were playing it out from the back and keeping it on the floor, as they do, trying to pass it about. And then they realised they couldn't, so what did they do? Oofed it long. And then after that, I can't really tell you what happened, to be fair. Just awful. It's like when he went to header it, he didn't go like that. He just sort of just fell on it. Yeah, maybe do some heading on in training on Monday. But again, to go back to the preview once more, I'm not going to say I was right, but the Sam Dolby sub made quite a difference. And who said to start Sam Dolby? Who said it would be a perfect game for Sam Dolby? Know what I mean? He made a big difference. Let's look at his stats, shall we? 3 touches in the opposition box. Of course, 1 was his goal. 1 headed clearance. And in the preview, I was talking about his heading ability, really. And he won all 3 of his aerial duels, just to say that again. But his goal was literally exactly what I was saying I'm playing for. He's a penalty box striker, which means if the ball is bouncing around in the box, who's going to be there? Him. Who's going to get there first? Him. Defender is not going to beat him to it, and that is literally exactly what happened for the goal. And again, they can't clear the lines, something that we said in the preview, and it paid dividends there, did it not? And we might as well do all 3 goals, haven't we? We've analysed the other 2. So Gale's goal, it's just, yeah, don't even need to analyse it. My God, what a touch. Beautiful technique on that is disgraceful, just to bring it down, little cushion. And then it's a little, see a bit, defender, I'm gone. And then it's the composure. He could have easily tried to beat the next man as well, but he saw the angle and he saw that he would have been closed down. So he just went, you know what, go on then. And it was a beautiful, beautiful finish. He was very good when he came on, Gale, to be fair to him. 5 touches in the opposition box. He tried 7 crosses. Only 1 of them came off, right? But crossing is what you needed to do, to be honest, to win the game. Again, what we said in the preview. And most successful dribbles in the game with 2 out of 5 that he tried. And another man I want to touch on, who I've not touched on in a while, to be fair, is Max Conway. Now, we all know how good Max Conway is at this point, do we not? But I feel like I've not spoken about him in a while. I feel like he's gone on the radar. So let me just read off some stats from yesterday's game, shall we? Most chances created with 4, from left back, by the way. Joint most dribbles completed with Gale with 2, from left back, by the way. 8 passes into the final third, from left back, by the way. And 6 ball recoveries. Know what I mean? Like, can we all just... He is a quality player. And keeping hold of him is going to be blooming massive. So, yeah, as I am a little bit hanging, I think I'll leave it there for today's show. And hopefully a slightly more 100% stat man. We'll see you next time. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of the podcast. And I'm sure I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
And I hadn't watched the Statman's video before I picked my man of the match. Because obviously he was just waxing lyrical. Somewhere. Yeah, no, good to see. Thank you very much, Mr. Statman, and thank you very much more than ever doing that when you're a little bit hungover, or very hungover, should I say. Well, it does make me feel a little bit better about society when I know that young lads like him are still going out getting hammered at the weekend. So happy days. Happy days. Do that while you're young enough, guys.
Oh, to be fair, I think he normally have footy with the kids on a Sunday, so he doesn't tend to.
Ah, really?
Yeah, he doesn't tend to get wasted on a Saturday. Maybe they've finished for Christmas or whatever.
Maybe they have. Good opportunity. Speaking of wasted, I think the Wanderers players were on their Christmas party, weren't they? I think they've been to Dublin, from what I understand. So hope we've had a good time. 3 up, 3 down. Let's do it. Or 4 up, 4 down. Go on then. I'll start with Dan. Dan's not been first tonight so far. What are your let's go with your positive from yesterday, please, pal, first of all.
Positive, super subs. I think it's quite, I know we mentioned it before, but I think it's quite rare that you bring, 4, 5 subs on or whatever, and they all kind of lift the standard of play. So I thought the subs were excellent yesterday, and they've all, obviously it's a squad game, we want them knocking on the door. Sometimes you see it where we rotate or we bring subs on and it's a bit flat, but they've all done themselves no favours. They've done themselves a lot of favours there, should I say, in knocking on Shuey's door and trying to get a bit more game time. So yeah, fair play to them. Super subs for me. Thought they were great.
What about you, Ange? What's your positive?
I'm going to go with a manager who's got some kahunas. He wasn't afraid to change it early doors when it needed doing. Didn't stick to his on the stroke of 60 minutes or whatever it was, 70 minutes or whatever it used to be. I'm going to go, Shuey was my positive from yesterday.
I like it. And I'm going to mention something about that in a minute, so don't let me forget. It's not past 9 o'clock yet, so let's leave that for a little bit later. My positive was the efficiency of the staff in the club shop yesterday. I went to pick a few gifts up for Christmas.
Santa. Send off to Santa.
Well, yes, before the game. And there was a young girl there who was very rapido to box up that collection and move on to the next customer. So I thought, a bit of efficiency in the club shop at Christmas time. I think they deserve a little bit of a shout out. So got any last minute gifts? Or not even last minute, I guess, is if you've got any gifts to buy at Christmas at the Wanderers shop, don't be afraid to pick them up on a match day. There's my positive. Ben, what about you?
Nice. I'm going to go on a similar ilk, but I'm just going to go Thierry Gale's fitness, I would say. Because I'm always
going Thierry Gale's six-pack.
Each to their own, Ben. Each to their own. I'll let you and Ange have a conversation about this when we go after we're live.
It's that sash is come through there.
His physical well-being. No, is just like the amount of times, and especially players like Thierry Gale that are quick, tricky wingers. The amount of times one's come in and look good, or one's and get an injury, and it kind of is then stop start. But he's come. I mean, obviously, it's only 2 games back in, but he's come back in, and both games look straight back on it to his what he looked like just before he got injured. Because I thought it took him a few games to get used to how we were playing, and a few games to get used to how English football, to him to get up to speed at the start of the season. And he just hit form and then got injured. I was thinking, he's not going to be one of them where he looks good and then just as he's looking good, he breaks down a little bit. I mean, obviously 2 games, nothing definitive now, but yeah, he's looked straight back into it, fully fit. Against Mansfield, I thought he was probably one of our best players, and he only played 20, 25 minutes. And then yesterday, he's got my man of the match. So yeah, he's straight back into it. It doesn't look. You see a lot of players when they come back from injury look a bit like timid, look a bit scared to try and get fully stuck in, or not to fully sprint in case they're worried about getting a further injury. But yeah, he just straight back into it, and looks as good as he did before. So I'm just happy he's not been ruined by his injury.
Yeah, no, fair point. Just referring back to Angie's positive from yesterday, want to reference the podcast produced by the club when, I don't know whether any of you listened to it, but Jon Donny Badvarsen has been on the show recently. I listened to that back on the way back from Bath on Saturday morning. It was definitely worth a listen, in which he alludes to Ian Everts during the podcast. And he very quickly says, I don't want to bash Ian Everett. However,
I'm going to slightly bash him.
Actually, no offence, isn't it, before you say it?
Yeah.
No offence.
His opinion was that Ian Everett was a little bit too one-dimensional in his approach from time to time. I'll let you listen to it because I'm probably going to butcher what he said. But in the gist of that particular conversation, it was rather interesting hearing what he had to say about our old manager. And he did caveat it, like I said, to say that he's not going to bash him or anything like that.
A bit late when you've said it, though.
Sorry?
A bit late when you've said it.
Yeah, he probably didn't quite say it as bluntly as I've just put it, but near as damn it anyway. That's basically what we were saying. I'd encourage you to listen to it anyway because I think it was a really good, and he's a really nice guy, and he comes across really well. Definitely jump on that and give that a listen. Whoever's brought up Peter Parker's Pizza Face 431, would you like to elaborate on that one?
Seeing a bunch of overweight 50-year-old Boltonian men in their last lower licking their lips at girls' Barbadian abs was a sight to behold.
Yeah, fair enough.
Brilliant.
Let's go downs from yesterday then. We'll start with, same order, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Just the dark art nonsense that you get from teams coming to us, especially when we gifted them that goal and they're hanging on to it. It's just so boring, isn't it, and frustrating. And I completely get why they do it because obviously we're a better team than them. But it's just tedious watching it. Slowing every bit of play down, and it's just grim, innit? If it's a long drive back or journey back to Exeter, innit, for them, especially. I know they're trying to hold on to it, but even before they scored, I feel like they were going to play that way all game, weren't they? They'd literally set up their stall for a point until we gifted them that goal. So, yeah, just boring. I just hate teams who come and do that, and they just want to spoil and delay and stuff, and it's just grim to watch. But it's the name of the game, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm never gonna butcher it, if I'm honest, Dan. If I'm being truthful. Because I used to absolutely love it when we used to do it to everybody else when we were in Prem. We were literally kings of it. So I'm never going to say to an Exeter or whoever turns up at our place, it's pathetic, I don't like it, because I think fair play to them, they do what they got to do. Plus, and this is the biggest caveat of it all, if they're in a position to do that, that's on us. And they do. If we go ahead first, they don't do it. If we're in the situation where we get annoyed,
we gifted it them, and that was
the gifted it them, and that's the only situation that them situations are ever going to occur when you're simply not good enough. And in that moment, Teddy Sharman-Lowes held his hands up and admitted he wasn't good enough, and he made a massive mistake, and that's why they gave him the opportunity to do what they did. But like I said originally, I'm never going to do it because I went up and down the country watching us do it to the best teams in the land, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'll never forget it. So, fair play to him, I say. Ange, what about you?
Just before I do my down, I've just thought of another positive.
Greedy. It's Christmas, so we'll let you have it.
No, in the fan zone before the match, the little the little Santa band. There was like 4 blokes dressed up with Father Christmas playing like a little brass band thing. Nice. Which was lovely. So they did a bit of Christmas songs, they did a bit of football songs, and they just kind of walked around the fan zone doing it. It was like a Old Orleans type thing, if you will. It was a nice little touch yesterday. I think, so I'm kind of going to go down a little bit of a vein like Dan did, but for me, it's just the ref just needs to sort the shit out. Like, it's the referee's performance. Do what you want as an opposition team. If you want to, your fans to spend their hard-earned money to watch that shite, then feel free. But referees need to be keeping certainly goalkeepers accountable to the rules that have been written. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the referee's performance rather than the not getting a grip of it, rather than the team.
Fair.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I exactly what you mean. Like, if you 1-0 up at a supposed one of the better teams in the league and you're struggling in the bottom 3, obviously you're going to do everything you can in your power to ruin the game. But if then all of a sudden 3 of your players are booked inside 20 minutes, maybe you go, hang on, maybe we shouldn't do it anymore. And especially the goalkeepers, because it's the least likely position on the pitch you're going to get booked just in open play, really, isn't it? So it's an
Well,
easy,
utilise them, isn't it?
it's an easy just book him because then he can't do it again. Whereas I get if you're hesitant to book an outfield player because then they might, it might be a bit controversial if they make a silly foul later on and get sent off, and then it might look a bit harsh. But a keeper is kind of a free. That's just a message, isn't it? And I think he even went over and spoke to him in the first half and said, "That's it, no more time wasting," and then gave him like 6, 7, 8 more times. Time wasting, whatever. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it did make me laugh when 8 minutes came up on the board.
Well, that, to be honest with you, Ben, that's my negative from yesterday. How in God's name, when they wasted all that time during the second half, we get punished for it by them getting an opportunity to score within 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's funny really because I don't really remember that happening another time. It feels like it always has been. We get loads of added time because the team's been time wasting and we've still been chasing a goal. I can't remember it being where it's flipped the other way. Whereas
it has happened. Ben, once or twice this season. I can't remember the exact game, but it has happened.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it has happened.
Yeah. But it's funny. I wonder if that's something that they'd look at and go, right, if the scoreline is this, the added time is this. If the scoreline is this, the added time is this. Or it's just a blanket rule. Obviously, just is a blanket rule, isn't it? However long the ball's been out of play.
Yeah, I think it is.
You had that
I don't think they could do that, to be fair.
No.
It goes back to my original point when Dan made the point originally about it all. You just have to be better, don't you?
I agree.
The resolution in it of the issues that we're having.
You're right. Yeah, we should be good enough that it shouldn't affect us.
It shouldn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What about your negative then, Ben?
My negative is again going to be pasta related. Because we got to the cars past the not store, just a little the little shop in the ground, and my mate in front of me got 2 steak pasties. I think I went to the front and I wanted 1 steak for my dad, 1 cheese, 1 for me, and 1 meat potato for me. No cheese and jalapeno from the start. I don't think I've had one for about 3 or 4 games now. Cheese and jalapeno.
What time did you get there, Ben?
That's probably my fault too. About 4 minutes too.
Almost as late as this podcast.
Yeah. I can't blame the Wi-Fi at the ground, can I? And there was 1 steak left, and then just meat and potato. So I got 2 meat and potato, 1 steak. Turned around to my dad and went, "What do you want?" And he went, "Steak." So I just had 2 meat and potato instead. I was like, I don't even really want one, but
these are first world problems. There's kids starving in Africa, Ben.
Yeah. Well,
not getting started. We'll see you live in a minute.
Excellent. Obviously, Ben's been managing the Fan Focus. Your comments have been really appreciated in the chat. There's been 112 people watching and listening live so far tonight. So thank you very much for your support. Of course, tonight's episode is sponsored by Loving My Socials, and that is the queen that is Leanne. A wonderful job with that business, supporting businesses up and down the land. If you've got one, if you know somebody who has one, or even you just like some social media support yourself for whatever reason, then do feel free to give her a shout. She does some wonderful stuff, and we are very much appreciative of her support. Then over to Ben.
Do you know why Ben's pointing at his curtains then?
Love you, Mash.
You've got time to explain yourself now, Ben, because the floor is yours.
The nice curtains as well, by the way.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, but you need to point the way the actual Love of My Social thing is.
You're pointing away from it.
I'm pointing away from it.
Yeah. That way.
Wait, where am I on your screen? I'm bottom left for me.
Unbelievable.
No, other way.
It's that way, isn't it?
Yeah, that way.
Is it that way?
Yeah.
Is my camera flipped?
Well, you were pointing. You're pointing the right way now, yeah.
Right, I'm pointing the complete wrong way for me. Well, this is what episode 161, and that's the only time I've realised that. Right, brilliant.
We're going to run this again. Fanzone Fan Focus coming up now.
Fanzone Fan Focus. I can't believe that. The amount of episodes I've pointed in the wrong direction. Anyway, let's move on to Fanzone Fan Focus. Firstly, not a question, just a nice little message from Chris Jenkins 3155. As Christmas falls on us Bolton fans, are grateful that all of you represent us so well. Every YouTube opposite fan says that the Fanzone are great. So thank you for showing that Bolton are a great club. Thanks for that, Chris.
What a guy.
What a guy. Lovely message.
Kind words.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on how we represent Bolton, and yeah, we like to think we have a good relationship with all the opposition fans that come on our shows, and we're a representation of Bolton as a club, hopefully. And if we come across lovely, that's because Bolton as a club and a town are full of lovely people, including you, Chris. So yeah, thanks for everyone. We've got a question from SCG 1969 that we kind of touched on before. Question for Ben on Fanzone React. Full respect to Burstow, but do we feel it's time for Force or Dolby to have a run of games at number 9? We didn't really mention Marcus Force as a potential number 9 option. So I'm going to spin the question as that. We basically had it as Burstow or Dolby, but do we feel there's a slot up front for Marcus Force? Cole, I'm going to hand it over to you, mate. Do you think he gets run into the team on the number 9 at some point? Or
I kind of think that he was kind of playing as a 9 yesterday in some ways. In fairness, I think they were very fluid yesterday, both Mason Burstow and Force, and I think both of them played quite well as a 2 from what I was watching. Obviously, when one dropped, one didn't, one and so on and so forth, and they were quite fluid, and I quite enjoyed watching them. I think, especially in the first half, they were close once or twice to kind of breaking the lines and getting through on goal. And I think the general play between them probably deserves something, I think, in that first half. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at Marcus Force's his goal-scoring record during his career, he's a goal scorer. Let's be truthful. He's not really a number 10. He's not really a winger. He is a 9. So, 100%. But, I mean, as far as Sam Dalby's concerned, what more can he do? He's not starting games. He comes on and scores. So, for me, against a physical team that I'm sure Wickham still are under Duff, Sam Dalby has to be starting on Saturday. And why not play him with Force just off him? As a technical player that's good enough to kind of find the net when the opportunity comes up. And then, I mean, let's be honest, having Mason Burstow coming off the bench is not exactly a bad thing, is it either? So I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Next question is one from David. As just pointed out, obviously, we spoke about how big our squad is, and when you look at our bench, you see the names. There's also a lot of names that weren't on the bench yesterday. A few of them, Aaron Morley, Joel Randall, Josh Dakers-Cogley, and John McAtee, who is currently out injured, isn't he? Someone he hasn't mentioned it. He's just asked, any of them on the way out, or is it going to be a thing of? It seems to be every week when there's someone else who's left out. It's like, oh, he must be on his way out, and then he seems to find himself back in the squad the week after. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if, obviously, we're 14th of December now. There'll be, obviously, Aaron Morley was heavily rumoured to be leaving last January as well, wasn't he? After his loan spell at Wickham. If anyone was for sale, do you think any of them three? Would think them 3 or 4 are the ones that are up for it? And who do you think is most likely? I would say to leave. Dan, what do you reckon?
Morley. I think Cogley. I know Ositutu can play right back as well. I think Cogley's a decent understudy and probably what we thought he was going to be when he first signed. A couple of years ago now, but I think the strength in midfield with Dempsey coming back in as well. I know he's been playing a bit further forward, but Morley, to me, I think maybe he's just hit a bit of a ceiling with us. I could definitely see him moving on if he wants the game time. Randall, I don't know. I'm not ready to give up on Randall because I do think when he plays, there's glimpses there of a player, and I'd be surprised if we let him go purely because of what we paid for him, to be honest, and the hit we would probably have to take. So I think realistically, out of them, Morley would be mine. Not that I want him to go necessarily, but I think that would be the most realistic one.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that. If I'm honest with you, I think Randall is. Again, I mean, I like him. I do think there's a player in there. I think people forget he's not even been here a year yet. And out of that 12 months in January that he would have been here, obviously we've had a pre-season between that as well. So he's actually not played that much football for us. And yes, he obviously costs a certain amount of money. But that's never the player's fault, is it? And if you look at his past, when he was at Peterborough, when he first got to Peterborough, he was rather quiet for his first 12 months as well. And then all of a sudden he became one of the best attacking midfields in League One with some good players around him, may I add. But I do think when we become a better team over time, if he does stick around with us, you'll probably see the best of him, I think. That's all in my opinion. And also when Randall plays, we don't lose either, which is another stat that you might want to have a little look at.
Yeah.
So there we are.
Have you got some numbers backing up that, or is that a?
I read it on FotMob the other day.
Yeah. Oh well, fair enough.
Go for it. Fill your boots. When he started, we've not lost.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my.
We also not
go on,
but he's not started though.
Yeah, barely.
The concept. In relation to the question asked, you know how much I hate transfer windows because I just cannot be asked with the in the knowers everywhere. Like, tis what it is. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 or 3 are going out in January. And if they are, then I wish them well. And if it's for the right reasons, which I think it would be, that they want guaranteed game time, then so be it.
That's fair enough. Well, I know you love a transfer talk, so we'll go on to another one. Just a quick one from Leslie. Do you think we need a backup to Teddy in the January transfer window? If Teddy gets injured, Miller, in my opinion, is not good enough. I think he had a bit of a shocker, didn't he, at Swindon for one of the goals at least. I mean, I've not looked at that game in depth, but
the old team had a shocker. We can't really just pin it
on. True. Yeah. What do we reckon? I mean, we got stung a couple of years ago, didn't we? Not having a good enough backup keeper, which in part cost us promotion. How big a priority do you think that is? Do you think maybe a more experienced head? Because I mean, they're all pretty young, our keepers, aren't they? I'm pretty sure. I know Broomy is a year older than Teddy. I think Miller's mid to late 20s. I'm not too sure.
Broomy's out on loan, isn't he? So he's not even.
Of course, yeah. Broomy's out on loan.
I think Miller's like 32 or something. I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he's cracking on. He's just not.
Right,
he's old. He's just not. He's not that
experienced,
tested, tried, experienced in English football, I would say.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because ideally, you'd like a really good, experienced keeper to come in, and especially with Sharman Law, someone he could learn off.
Yeah.
But because of where we are in League One, I don't know. Don't know how realistic that would be to get like a decent level keeper who's willing to come and sit on the bench in League One to kind of mentor your number one and give him competition. Yeah. I'd love that, but I just don't know.
Is what you need, really. You need
yeah. Unless, well, that's it. If there were a scenario, it'd probably be someone who'd come onto coaching staff as well. That could work, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. But I do get your concern because I mean,
it is a worry. It really is a concern. Yeah. And I think Colin had said it back in, I forget how many seasons ago it was now. 2 seasons ago, maybe, when we were playing Coleman in net, and you could say that season, that season was a massive.
He cost us promotion. Him.
Yeah.
It could happen again. So it's a no-brainer. We need a better backup goalkeeper because that Yank lad's not good enough for me. I don't think, from what I've seen. No, it wouldn't be. I won't be comfortable anyway going into the final quarter of the season if he was our goalkeeper, like we were when we lost Baxter. But if you're after an experienced one, maybe like a championship level goalkeeper who's going to drop to be a backup to a 20.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's a tough sell, isn't it? It's going to be a keeper that's not playing already, isn't it? So
you can't have another young up and coming loaney type player because you just can't. It's
the ideal situation would have like someone said, a Jilks type, that type of thing scenario going on. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not comfortable with that if we lose Teddy, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Finally, another one from David. Just following on from our man of the match and my loving for Thierry Gale tonight. Is Gale our best winger? I mean, we've I think it's probably going to be unanimous no because Koji Dewberry is still at the club, and even though he's had a bit of an off couple of games, he is still.
Well, yeah. Sorry, Ben. Gale is our best winger because he's our player.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. Obviously, Mario's not, is he? So he's not our best winger.
Yeah. So technically, he is. There's your
in a nutshell.
answer, David. Yeah. So that's it for Fan Focus. Yeah. That's it for Fan Focus. Thanks for your questions. Cheers as always.
And I'm just to double check as well, Ben, for your benefit. And I hadn't been dreaming the Joe Randall's stat about him not losing when he started. I've just spent the last few minutes whilst we've been talking about that, looking back, and I am right. He has every time he started.
Every time he's back on.
I'm not carrying on back again, Andy. Anyway, that just about wraps up. Yeah, no, it's a good few. To be fair, it's a good few. That just about wraps up tonight's episode of the Fanzone podcast. Please, if you wouldn't mind doing us a massive favour, liking and subscribing if you've not done already, that'd be really appreciated. Once again, tonight's episode has been sponsored by Loving My Socials. We do return. Wow. Let's talk about our schedule over the next few weeks. The preview show returns on Thursday.
You're going to be sick to death of us.
Ahead of the Wickham game. There will be some rotation as far as the Fanzone pod's concerned.
Squad rotation. There will be squad rotation on the pod.
Squad rotation. And just to keep you all in the loop as well, on the preview show, we're going to be combining the preview show a couple of times over the next month or so with additional or the next game.
Double game weeks.
Should we say? Double game weeks, yeah. Off the top of my head, I'm not too sure which games they are, Ben. Have you any idea off the top of your head?
Mansfield and Doncaster, I think, and Wigan and Stevenage we have down. That's middle of January though, Wigan and Stevenage. So yeah.
Probably worth letting you all know that t'other Ben, HR Ben, he's off on his travels for the month of Jan. Not this Ben for once. So you won't see
he's taking over the mantle.
I won't see anything of Timbo for a good few weeks. So don't
Which
panic.
is music to all your ears because the rules go completely out the window.
But
we don't have to listen to Ben's dulcet tones.
We'll do what we want. We'll do what we want. We're the Fanzone podcast.
Watch it all fall apart in a month. Yeah, and we'll be begging for him to come back.
No, we'll get more subscribers, no doubt. No, I'm all joking. Safe travels to Ben. I think you'll probably see him before he goes.
Yeah, it's the end of December.
I'm pretty sure he is.
But yeah, lovely to have you all with us. Thank you very much for joining tonight. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Whites.
Come on, you Whites.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, unreal. Boys are